Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 5 of our F1 2021 Alpine mod career mode. Yes, this time round we're here for the team's home Grand Prix, Esteban Ocon's home Grand Prix as well. We head back to Circuit Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix then. Very close title battles going on. Hamilton and Verstappen separated by just 1 point at this current stage of the season there. Bottas in a bit of no man's land in P3. And you can see Perez, Alonso, myself, Carlos Sainz and Sebastian Vettel all separated by just 4 points at this early stage of the season there. Charles Leclerc still winning the best of the rest battle, if you will, at this early stage, but a lot can change over the rest of the season there. But yeah, round 5 of the year, like I said, unfortunately we had a couple of issues with the recording at the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That race, though, was really interesting, so I would definitely recommend going back and checking it out nonetheless. But yeah, let's head here then to Circuit Paul Ricard. So here we are then, back at the French Grand Prix for round 5 even, sorry, I should say, of the World Championship. Very much looking forward to diving into this weekend, and hopefully we can have a good race out here at, yeah, an interesting track, I think it's safe to say. Obviously, I've done a league race actually recently around the circuit. Hopefully there'll be a video from that coming up in the very near future. So hopefully, you know, maybe a bit of practice around the circuit will come in clutch this weekend and we can try and get a big result around this track. In terms of the setup though, fairly sort of standard, a couple of small tweaks from recent sets, but still hopefully should be all good. We're going to run a little bit more aggressive on the brake pressure this time around as well. Hopefully means we can go for maybe some cheeky dive bombs at a couple of stages over the course of the race today. But yeah, let's head out then onto the circuit here for our hot lap around at this Circuit Paul Ricard, then down in towards the first corner. I want to brake just after the first curve there. You can see Hamilton does make a little bit of gains as well. We run just a little bit wide off the exit of turn 2 here. It should be a good track for the car though. Obviously Paul Ricard very high speed orientated around this track, and obviously that's generally where this car theoretically has been quite quick. Saying that, our best result actually came at Monaco, courtesy of our teammate, of course, Fernando Alonso, with that podium. But maybe, just maybe, this weekend we can have another good result here as we head up the DRS straight. Currently down in P12 though, not ideal at this stage of the lap, but hopefully in the second half we can come on strong like we tend to before. Brake just after the 100-meter board. Take as much curb both on the entry and the exit of the chicane there. You can see we're up inside the top 10 once again. Could we finally get our best pole position, best qualifying session of the year around here? I think currently it's P8. Not last time out, obviously round 3 at Monaco. And let's just wait and see as we head in towards the final few corners now. Oh, just a little bit wide through there. That's going to cost us a bit of momentum as we head in towards the third last proper corner of the lap. Trying to keep it nice and tidy, trying to make sure we use all the curb though as well. Really got to make this track as wide as possible here. Final left-hander of the lap in towards the final right, around the final turn. Try and get good traction off the exit up towards the start-finish line. It's not been a perfect lap. It's only going to be P10 at the end of qualifying for the French Grand Prix. Not quite what I wanted. Unfortunately, we won't even get the choice of fresh rubber. There we go then, the end of qualifying for the French Grand Prix. And clearly, yeah, the Alpine not as good as I'd hoped it to be around this track. Just half a tenth of our teammate Fernando Alonso there. But it is Hamilton Verstappen at the front. Bottas in P3 then Ferrari's 4th and 5th. Having a very good weekend there. Sebastian Vettel really coming on strong now as we head towards the halfway stage of the World Championship there, up in 6th place. Then you got Perez, Alonso, Stroll and myself rounding out your top 10 there. Then we've got both McLarens, both AlphaTauris, and then of course the Haas, Williams and Alfa Romeos rounding out your grid. Let's dive in then, ready for the French Grand Prix. So here we are then, ready on the grid for round 5 of the F1 2021 Alpine mod career mode from Circuit Paul Ricard. And if ever there was a track that Alpine wanted a good result, I'm sure it is that one. Obviously back at home, Esteban Ocon's home Grand Prix as well. A track that generally we've been pretty good at on the F1 games as well. We've had a pretty decent track record here, both in career modes and online. We've had a couple of wins in some league races, as well as obviously some really good success in some of the career modes we've done, obviously across the F1 and My Team universe especially. Always had a good run around this circuit. The pace is always decent around here. Such a top speed orientated circuit as well means ERS management is absolutely critical over the course of even just a 25% race. You can really find yourself draining through a lot of the battery very, very quickly, and I'm sure that is going to be something that the top two are monitoring as well. Just 1 point separates Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen after the first 4 rounds of the season. Long may that battle continue at the front of your field as we get through the rest of this World Championship. Remember, it's still a 19-race season. It very much feels like an entire calendar still, despite obviously the 3 races that have been removed. But having a look then at your grid ready for round 5 of the year. Like we said, it is Lewis Hamilton who gets another pole position, then Max Verstappen once more joins him on the front row. Valtteri Bottas in P3 ahead of Charles Leclerc with a fantastic 4th place start there from the Ferrari man. Sainz in 5th ahead of Vettel, Sergio Perez, Alonso my teammate, and then you can see Lance Stroll and myself, Esteban Ocon, rounding out your top 10. The McLarens even make up row 6, the Alpha Tauri is row 7. And then you got Raikkonen, Mazepin, Schumacher, Russell, Latifi and Antonio Giovinazzi rounding out your order ready for today's Grand Prix. But yeah, let's head down to the track then. Starting P10, not the best qualifying session, but hopefully we can move forward in the race. So here we are then, ready on the grid for the French Grand Prix, round 5 of the season here, and hopefully today we can get off to another good result. We've done pretty well. We've had points in every race. We haven't lost positions in any Grand Prix either so far this season. Probably goes to show how weak our qualifying performance has been as well. But yeah, hopefully today though, like I said, we can get another big haul of points. Maybe a top 6, I'm going to say again. Maybe we can try and get our best result. I'd love 1 podium over the course of the year, I won't lie to you guys as well. But yeah, let's head out then, ready for the French Grand Prix, starting just behind Lance Stroll and our teammate waiting on the 5 red lights. And it is lights out, and away we go, responding really well actually, as we head down towards turn 1 here for the first time. Unfortunately, just nowhere to go, though, in towards the first corner. A very, very tight run down this first straight there. It seems like Hamilton has held on to the lead, though, off the start of this Grand Prix, as we just really want to try and make up at least 1 spot on the opening lap of this race there. Perez, and I think that was Carlos Sainz going side by side. So is Vettel and Charles Leclerc. Obviously, ex-Ferrari teammates there as Stroll just sits on the exit. It seems like Vettel might have made the move work on Charles Leclerc. No, he's coming back at him. As we head out onto the back straight, it's allowing the top 3 to really break away, as you'd probably expect them to over the course of the Grand Prix here, as everyone in front of us just trying to find some space and try and find some slipstream. A team just saying that not great but not terrible start here, as we're going to try and go around the outside of Lance Stroll as we head through the chicane, and there we go, we found the room, and we've made that move work there. Sebastian Vettel, oh look at the run we got on Alonso. As we head up in towards the infamous turn 9, round the outside of our teammate perhaps. Not quite where you want to be on lap 1. He does about give us the room. Can we potentially hook it up? I don't think we're quite going to have enough. Oh, we say that. Sainz sits on the apex a little bit. But no, just a little bit of understeer on the exit of the corner. We're still side by side though, as we head in towards the final few corners of the lap. And now we've made the move work. And now we're up 2 places off the start of this French Grand Prix there. So a decent little start for ourselves. You can see round the final couple of corners though, Verstappen is still locked into battle with the Mercs, as Sainz kicks out the back end a little bit through the final corner. Maybe just a little bit frustrated at the end of lap 1, as we're going to try and get a good run on him. Down in towards turn 1 again. Can we potentially have a look around the outside? No, in a word. Oh, Sainz, yeah, really sits on the apex. Still trying to potentially get a run on Carlos Sainz as we head up in towards turn 9 again. We'll show the nose, but we definitely won't get alongside him of the Spaniard there as we head in towards the final few corners of the lap. Again, nowhere we're going to be able to make a move here, so we'll have to sit back again. But yeah, the car does seem quick though around this track. Didn't quite have the same sort of pace in qualifying, but race pace, this thing really does come alive. DRS has now been enabled in the French Grand Prix, and it is absolutely critical you stay in the DRS if the car's in front. Around this circuit, it's all Sainz again. Doesn't get a particularly good drive out of the chicane there. We might be able to go for something this time around. We're going to use a load of our overtake as we head up in towards turn 9, and we're just about going to be able to get the nose to the inside. Surely this is going to be a done deal for us. We'll squeeze him out wide, but we will give him the room. The Sainz coming back at us though in towards sector 3. Can't quite hold it around the outside there. I'm up to 7th. Hopefully going to get a run on Sergio Perez as we head on to lap 4. The Red Bull not the fastest car down the straights, and so far Perez, yeah, hasn't had a particularly good day of it around circuit 4. Ricardo, he's going to have a look on Vettel there, as that was aggressive from the 4-time world champion there. A very, very aggressive defensive manoeuvre from Sebastian, but is it going to allow us a run round the outside of Sergio Perez as we head up in towards turn 9? We've already made one move up the inside. We've tried to hook up one move around the outside as well. Can we make it work this time round? Oh, look how slow Seb's going as well. Maybe around the outside of the pair of them as we head in towards sector 3 there. And look at that, Sebastian Vettel bails out And that might well be the best move we're making the entirety of this series there. Huge lock-up, though, in towards the next couple of corners. We do hold on, though. And that's a cheeky double overtake round the outside through turn 9 and turn 10. And I am happy with that. Charles Leclerc a good few seconds up the road, though. Can we hunt him down for our best result of the year? Oh, there we go. Got a couple of front runners in, as I was actually meant to pit at the end of that lap there. Just completely forgot about it. As we head in towards the final couple of corners. Yeah, we never actually got the message from the team halfway around saying we needed to pit. So we are up into the podium places then. Into P3 of this race. But are we now going to potentially screw Fernando Alonso if we come in at the end of this one? We might have to stay out another one now and give Fernando the stop he wanted. Gap to Charles Leclerc. He isn't coming down all too much at the moment. So we might just have to pit when he does in the hopes that we can almost block him as he tries to head back out the pit lane here. Is he going to dive it in? Yes, he is. So Charles Leclerc into the pit lane. We're going to have to follow him in then. Not sure whether Alonso... I think Alonso's coming behind us, though. So we might have just... Yes, oh, that's very annoying. They need to have better adaptive AI with this sort of thing. But are we going to get the jump on Charles Leclerc? Is he going to get held up potentially by a few of the slower cars? I think he is. So that does help us out a little bit with a bit of luck. Come on, get in gear. We've been jumped. We've been jumped. Come on. And Perez has got past us. Vettel's got past us as well. But they're both on hards, rather weirdly. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. But Charles Leclerc has made big gains out of that. And now all those moves we made, we're going to have to try and make again. As we're down, all the way down in P12 of this Grand Prix. I think a couple of the back markers have stayed out an extra lap. Hopefully we're not all the way down here. Stroll's even past us now as well. That has been an appalling round of stops. And it got even worse with the fact we held up our teammate. All over the back of Lance Stroll there as the Aston Martin doesn't seem so confident through the twistier bits of the lap. But yeah, we just need no issues trying to get around all these guys. We might need to go for some aggressive moves in the second half of this race. Are we going to see anyone else into the pit lane? As you can see just how much we gain on Stroll. Might have a look up the inside. Final corner. Oh, he tries to turn in, but we were clearly there. We will pull off the move. But Lance Stroll, I'm sure not happy with that. As yeah, there were quite a few guys then that stayed out. We're back up into 8th of the Grand Prix, which seems about right, I'll be honest. P5 might be on the cards, but yeah, I don't know whether it's Charles Leclerc. I think it is Charles Leclerc still at the road. Sainz might be catchable, but not Charles. Sebastian Vettel, though, just in front of us. We've got to try and get around him and Perez first before we can even think about battling the Ferraris. Seb, of course, goes defensive. Should be able to get clean around the outside, however. Big lock-up on the way in. But we do get it slowed down. Oh, big kick of oversteer on the way out as well. This thing is Larry today. Maybe we're just pushing it as we try and get closer in the groove there. Perez, terrible run out in towards turn 9. Can we have a look right around the outside again on Sergio Perez? In a word, yes. Perez has been dispatched, but of course they were both on hards rather than mediums, so they should have been a bit easier. As yeah, it is Sainz next guy at the road, but Charles Leclerc 4 seconds clear is not probably going to be catchable unless he has an issue. I said how Charles Leclerc might not be catchable by the end of the Grand Prix. If we can navigate our way around Carlos Sainz fairly quickly, maybe it still is. The gap come down about a second that lap, and with 4 to go, a gap of just 3 seconds, these mediums are working beautifully at this stage of the day. As soon as I say that, horrible understeer through turn 1. Right, got to get past Sainz here, everyone. Any chance of getting at Leclerc, and that wash of understeer is not going to help us. Going to have to use a load of overtake as we head out onto the Mistral straight once again. But making big gains on the Ferrari here. The Renault power unit starting to come into its own at this stage of the World Championship. As around the outside of Carlos Sainz we go. Try and give him a big old squeeze towards the curbs. Somehow no contact there. And we're up into P5 of the race. This would equal our best result of the year, but I want P4. The gap to Charles Leclerc at the road, 2.7. 2 laps to go with this Grand Prix, and we are still pushing like absolute crazy at the moment. There's just a little bit of wheel spin out of the final corner. I think this might be a new PB for the Grand Prix. Yes, it is. So we're still going faster and faster, but yeah, 2 to go. The gap to Charles Leclerc, still 2 seconds. If we can get in the DRS, no, that's not going to help us. That's going to put pay to everything, just a 3-second penalty. Taking a bit too much curb through turn 1. Let's see if we can still get Charles Leclerc on the road, however. Oh, Valtteri Bottas then apparently leads this Grand Prix with just 1 to go. Are we going to see our first non-Verstappen Hamilton win of the year, or is Hamilton going to be able to get back past him on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Not too sure how Bottas has managed that, in all honesty. He seemed to be a little way off the pace in the early stages of this race, but we'll wait and see. On the final lap there, you can see on the mini-map, he's actually got a fairly hefty advantage over the two cars in front of him. We, however, have not been able to close up the gap to Charles Leclerc. That Ferrari just seems to come on strong right at the end of Grand Prix there. It might have been we've just took a bit too much out of the tyres, a bit too much ERS and things like that, but the gap to Sainz holding it over 3 still, so it's not going to cost us anything with a bit of luck. Right, in the final few corners though of the French Grand Prix, I think, to be honest, on raw pace, this might well be the best race we've had all year. And unfortunately, it's still going to come through for another P5, our third in 5 races this season. It is Valtteri Bottas, though, who wins the French Grand Prix. Hamilton sets fastest lap, though, right at the very end there. Verstappen's going to come through for P3, Charles Leclerc 4th, and P5 will still take very happily.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
We've witnessed some great battles around Paul Ricard today, and they've taken a fantastic win. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Let's give it to Esteban Ocon. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there we go then. We did get Anthony Davidson's seal of approval as driver of the day there when all is said and done, so rather happy with that one. But yeah, GG's to Valtteri Bottas, who's able to take the fastest lap there. Take the race victory even, I should say, the full 25 points on the board, just missing out on the fastest lap to Lewis Hamilton there. A 32.4 though, we went quicker than Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas in the Grand Prix there. Goes to show how good the pace really was on those mediums towards the end there. Charles Leclerc though, comes through for P4, always looking comfortable and cool, calm and collected there. As you can see, we finished only half a second ahead of Carlos Sainz after the penalty came into effect, but 10th to 5th. We can be pretty happy with at the end of the day there. Sainz in 6th place there ahead of Sergio Perez, who had, another quiet and disappointing Grand Prix there. Vettel, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll rounding out your top 10. But Yuki Tsunoda just missing out on points there ahead of my teammate Fernando Alonso. Again, gutted for him. Obviously, just that the pit stop even completely screwed our teammate there. You can see the rest of your finishers. Everyone, obviously, excluding George Russell, making it to the checkered flag there. Championship-wise, though, it does mean the gap at the top opens up to 5 points there as Bottas makes some good inroads on the pair of them. And we leapfrog our way all the way up into 5th place there, just ahead of Sainz and Perez, tied on 34. Vettel still on 28 points, and Fernando Alonso stuck on 27 as well. Then no other movers looking down the order. Constructors-wise, there's still a good battle going on between us and Ferrari as we're just trying to hang on to those guys at the moment there. But Williams jump Alfa Romeo on countback somehow. I'm pretty certain Latifi was last, so I don't know how they've managed that, but we won't worry about that too much. There's still 4 teams yet to score. AlphaTauri, I'm sure at some point this year, are going to put some points on the board as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and yeah, we will be back very, very soon, ready for round 6 of the season. I think we're heading to Austria. I'll see you guys there. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.